What's up, guys? This is Z-Rex with Noiz Research. I think this is going to be an actual all the way through live stream that I'm going to finish. Here's a little clip art for when it starts. Let me know what y'all think about that. I had some technical difficulties yesterday, and I was feeling really bad. I feel a lot better today. I pretty much took some medicine and slept most of the day, so I'm a little more recharged. I tried to do this twice last night with double technical difficulties, and after about 11 or so, I was like, I feel so bad. If I don't go to sleep right now, it's going to be worse for me. So that's what I did. I really wanted to finish it, but I was already feeling bad when I started. But anyway, let's get on with this show. Some of these I did talk about yesterday. I had the stream up, but I took it down because I had that echo problem again. I did fix it, so that's nice. And so here we go. It's on private. I don't think I want to put it out. Although what I said in it was pretty damn accurate for what happened today, which is pretty funny. But aside that, let's get into it. Sure, y'all, a lot of y'all already aware of this. SEC put off the decision on the 5 Bitcoin ETFs till September. They exercised, we talked about this in an earlier video, they exercised their right to extend it back to September. They could have done this the whole time. That's why the front of this says SEC splashing cold water on that rally. And that was the title for yesterday, so I am putting this out the next day again due to me not feeling so hot. But it seems like they did exactly do that. Their timing was impeccable too, by the way, because, you know, they knew they could do this for a while. They could push it back and announce that they wanted to. But yeah, but they didn't. They said, oh, wait, Bitcoin rally? Investigated on. Because they're not going to go look into Mark Zuckerberg. You know that. I don't know if y'all saw that today. Biggest or largest stock market one-day crash ever in history. It's like 120 billion or something. It's ridiculous, guys. What the hell? Facebook isn't worth that. Come on. Do y'all even use Facebook anymore? I bet you don't. Yeah, and on top of that, the reason I brought that they won't look into him is because insiders at Facebook have been selling billions in shares the last few months. Pretty interesting, but he gets a pass. Kind of like some of y'all's best friends, Elon. He gets a pass as well. It's who you know, guys. Laws don't matter if you know the right people, unfortunately. Alright, so back to the news. This is for a 1x on the bull and bear side, as well as 1 1/4 and 2x, which is cool. I like that. So they said that the commission finds it appropriate to designate a longer period within which to issue an order approving or disapproving the proposal. You know, so that, of course, that's what we already knew, that they could do that. Now they just officially did it. Here's what they did: 180 days after the publication. So here you go, the extension period of not more than 60 days. They exercised it. And now here we are. Funny, this comes out and it's kind of a little bit more subtle, and then this one comes out today. Winklevoss twins rejected. Way harsher, right, than that other one. Like, oh, it's cool, it's going to be a little bit later. No worries. These guys, you know, they keep trying to do this. I believe this is their second time. Last year was one. Yeah, they didn't like it. I'm assuming that's why it sold off. Guys, this market's hilarious. A year or two ago, even the beginning of 2017, no one cared. They're like, we're replacing the banks. The banks are done. Screw everybody. Like, in modern finance, crypto is king. It's going to blockchainize everything. And then now we're pissed because an ETF in that same exact construct that we're supposed to replace with crypto, we go down because what? Do y'all get this? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like, oh, screw that, we're replacing you. Oh my god, what, we can't get approved by the mainstream financial markets? Oh, and I know all y'all think that's going to be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin and adoption, and it most likely will be, but I do think that a bigger catalyst is, hey, developers out there, build apps. Build apps. We need application. The chains are already in place. We need application now. No, just kind of funny. Just completely switched on that, citing they're concerned about fraud and manipulation of Bitcoin. Well, did y'all manipulate Bitcoin? Back to what I was saying about extending it and this. It's the dump and pump by the SEC, guys. I'm just kidding, of course. Or am I? So, this was really funny. I read the letter earlier. This one pulled out some of the more important things. It said they're pointing to significant investor protection issues that need to be examined. Oh yeah, did y'all examine anything that happened with Facebook when 100+ billion just got wiped off portfolios across the world? Yeah, I don't see y'all barking about that. Where's that? This is just like such a Twilight Zone we're in with this stuff, man. So, we'll see if it gets passed. Now, what this means is it can pretty much be announced at any time up until late September. They did not say they were announcing it on September 24th or whatever it was, like, in that area. So, do keep a keen eye on that. They could come out next week and be like, oh, actually, we approved it. We don't know. I don't know. But I do think that that's a very important note to make, that this could be a surprise pop-up. Maybe they'll do it after it sells off more. We'll see. All right. Uber co-founder and E-Trade alum launch a no-fee cryptocurrency exchange. So that's pretty cool. It's called Voyager. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that name. I don't know. Whatever. So an Uber co-founder and a co-founder of a very good broker called Lightspeed Financial. They've been around for a long time. They have a really awesome platform. And as the name says, Lightspeed, they do have super fast trading. They are for a little bit more serious traders. I think their minimum deposit's like 10K. So they're kind of up there for people that know what they're doing. Hey, you can always learn, though. Get in there. You got 10K to blow. Hey, it's all good. I don't think anyone should be stopping you for that. We need more consumer protection. Like the SEC said, it's so volatile. Oh, what? Facebook and penny stocks and all this? Oh, you don't worry about that. That's cool. The joke, guys. What about also not even Facebook, or just not only Facebook? You had Netflix, got slapped, and we still got a lot of the Jumbotron tech companies reporting earnings next week. So let's see what happens. Anyway, so they're going to try to compete with Robinhood, or if y'all know Robinhood, which is a crypto exchange only. They have a pretty slick app. It's pretty nice. I've used it, of course, as with most of the alternative exchanges and dexes. They don't have any volume. Sucks. But that's going to change, I believe, over this next year drastically. All right, so something I thought that was interesting what these guys said. They said, we saw an opportunity to build a dynamic smart order router that can take advantage of the marketplace and also offer customers no commissions. By beating the average price of the coins at the point in time we execute the trade. I'll say that again. By beating the average price of the coins at the point in time we execute the trade. All right, so to me, this sounds like they're applying high-frequency trading to Bitcoin. Of course they want to. This market is ripe with arbitrage. If you've been trading it at all, you know that. You can see it. And these big players want to take advantage of that. They're finally like, oh, gosh, I guess it's here to stay. It's for real now. And so I thought that's interesting. They want to pretty much do HFTs, in the crypto space. And that is a good thing, y'all. That is not a bad thing. I know everybody's, what's that book by Michael something, Flash Boys, and everyone's all like demonizing high frequency traders. They've actually made price efficiency better. They make all trading better across the board. Who cares if they get a little bit of benefit by beating some average prices, like they're saying at the time they execute trade? If it helps you get better prices too, is that a problem? If they build these giant businesses and spend millions, hundreds of millions, maybe billions of dollars, like making this infrastructure so we can get on our phone to trade with like 4 clicks, is that bad? Don't jump on the bandwagon with that one, guys. So, pretty cool, pretty awesome. I'm going to follow this a little bit. They want to list the top 15 digital currencies. Of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum will be the ones that they're really thinking. And then they specifically mentioned leaning towards XRP and Stellar Lumens. Guys, let's admit it. Stellar and XRP are major cryptocurrencies. I know a lot of y'all are going to hate me for saying that. I don't care. It is what it is. There's different utility for many different cryptos. And let's really face it, Stellar Lumens has just been like, what's up, guys? We're here to stay and play. And let's not forget, Lumens is a fork. Stellar's a fork of XRP. Caleb, I believe, he used to work at XRP, but they had kind of a different vision, so they spun off into Stellar. It's a cool thing. That's what's beautiful about crypto. You can do that. Think of ETC, Ethereum Classic, after the DAO thing and kind of reissuing all the losses there. Is that really decentralized? I don't think so. All right. Coinbase announces e-gift cards. Oh, you can pay with Uber with Bitcoin. Cool. Although I prefer Lyft. Especially at the beginning, Lyft, you could tip the driver. Uber didn't do that till recently because they were probably like losing lots of market share. Whoever made that dumbass decision, geez, that guy should be fired. So they announced a couple days ago that the customers in Australia and the EU are going to be able to spend cryptocurrency balances on e-gift cards instantly. And they're going to be able to do this within the app, guys. This is pretty cool. So the first several select countries in the European Union are going to be the UK, Spain, Italy, France, and the Netherlands. We already mentioned Australia. That's outside of the EU, if you didn't know. And here you go. Retailers like Nike, Uber, Tesco, Ticketmaster. It's going to be pretty much, you're going to have access, I would guess, to all of the regular kiosk gift card options that you have whenever you walk into CVS or Best Buy, all these major retailers. It's pretty much all the same, guys, anyway. So there you go. I think it's cool. Just expanding. It'll come here eventually, I'm sure. We're always late in America to get the cool technology stuff, especially when it comes to financial technologies. You know, I guess maybe our regulatory environment is a blessing and a curse in both ways. I'm going to go more with the latter because crypto is going to flip that on its head. We will see in the near future. Stay tuned. So, Coinbase, this is pretty funny. All my maximalist friends will like this. Coinbase's internal investigation, finds no irregularities with Bitcoin Cash listing. So in 2017, y'all probably remember, Bitcoin Cash was running up like everything else. Every shitcoin, everything was going up. But for some reason, this is rumors spread. Y'all remember this, I'm sure. Rumors spread among communities that the two events were too closely related or correlated for comfort. And many argued that the out-of-the-blue run-up anticipated the listing by the way of insider trading. First of all, I want y'all to really think about what insider trading is, and if it really does exist. Because, in my opinion, isn't almost everything insider trading? You got a tip from your friend back in the day. Maybe you were lucky and he told you in 2012 about Bitcoin. Maybe you were a little less lucky, but still pretty lucky, that he told you about it or she told you about it in 2015. Is that an insider tip? Kind of. They're in it. I don't know. I think this definition of insider trading is too loose, and what the hell does it mean? You know, it's just kind of silly to me. It's just one of those control points, I believe. But anyway, to go on with this a little bit, Coinbase, 7 months after this, they've provided answers to the skepticism. Oh my goodness. 2 prominent law firms, U.S. law firms, which the identities are undisclosed. That's kind of shady. I know you maximalists are going to like that part and run with that, because they're like, what? They didn't even say who it was. It could have been anyone. Did they even really do it? Who knows? They did a multi-month internal investigation of Coinbase. They concluded that there's no evidence of insider trading by the company's employees. Cool. I mean, dudes, this is like I'm saying. Say you work at any firm, tech firm, stock place. You're gonna hear stuff. People talk. That's just what it is. That's how markets get excited. That's why Bitcoin went to 20,000 so fast. It's because people were talking and saying you need to get in on this. Just think about the whole concept of insider trading a little bit. So they just kind of sit here and say we wouldn't hesitate to terminate any employee or contractor, and they would take appropriate legal action if evidence showed our policies were violated. Whatever. Who cares? They don't even care. This is to make all those crazy, and I love some of you guys, but some of you crazy maximalists out there are just going too far on the Bitcoin Cash hate train. It's unnecessary. Why? It's cool. It's there. Why don't we hate something more like valid to hate, like Bitcoin Gold or Diamond or Bitcoin Red or all these other Bitcoin forks? Why is it Bitcoin Cash? It's just really odd to me. Like, it actually makes me want to buy a lot of it, because remember when everybody hated Ripple and it was, what? That's not a real crypto. That's bullshit. And everyone hated it. Most people still do hate it, but it's not near as hated like it was last year and any time before that. I remember expressing like for Ripple in 2014, and man, almost got into some fights almost with some of these guys. Not really, but it was close. So, pretty funny though. There you go. It's just silly. I don't know why people hate Bitcoin Cash so much. I don't get it. I probably never will. But it does make me kind of want to get in to Bitcoin Cash some more. So, anyway, let's move on. So this report I found was pretty cool. It's called The Modern Trader. I'll put a link in the description. I think it's a report by Broker Notes. And it's just about kind of trader trends, all right? It's pretty cool, nice details. So about 14 million people are online traders. 1 out of 634 people on the planet trade online. Pretty wild. I would not think it was that high. So here you go. Here's some of the major areas. And do note these percent gains underneath how many traders they have. I think that's very important. So you got Europe has doubled their traders from last year. North America only got a 7% increase. What are we doing over here, guys? Regulatory barriers. I'm glad they're protecting us. I feel so safe that I can't trade more than 4 or 5 times in a 5-day rolling window because of pattern day trader rules. Oh, gosh. Thank you, SEC. Oceania, even though they're the lowest, you got 116, so they have the highest increase, but again, the lowest amount of total traders. Africa is pretty notable, 54% increase. That makes sense. There's lots of cryptocurrency projects there, and they do have a huge banking problem there. So, also Asia is growing. Of course, you know that they have a buttload of traders. So, let's go on to some details. Excuse me. The millennials represent over 58% of all online traders. That's not a big shocker to me. I don't think it should be to you either. It makes total sense. You know, phones, internet, all those cool things. But there you go. You can kind of see this graph. No one's trading when they're 65 because they don't care anymore. They're like, well, I'm going to die in 10 or 20 years anyway. I'm just going to put it all in the Vanguard super amazing quadruple your money fund and reverse mortgage my house. Both of those are really terrible ideas, by the way. That should be like predatory, but no, it's not. SEC won't look into that either. So yeah, like I was just saying, low barrier to entry. It's easy to do. Over 75% of cryptocurrency traders are aged 18 to 34. Also, not a huge surprise, but cool to see that someone's done the research and can show that. Here's something that's pretty interesting. Let's see. They ask about 14,000 traders, and this is about just deposit levels versus male versus female. And so, as you can see, most people deposit less than $500. Again, that goes back to regulatory issues. That's hard to do here. You can do that in some brokers. I believe E-Trade lets you deposit a minimum of $500 in some of the other ones, but they don't give you the good leverage, and they don't let you trade lots of different products. Like you can't get margin. You need like over $2,000 minimum, and that's like a FINRA rule. You gotta have like over that to even start trading futures and stuff. And even if you got $2,000, unless you did futures options, you know, the margin requirement on like the smallest futures contract, I believe, is like $800. You can get intraday ones, but I'm not going to go down that. But let's call it overnight margin. It's about $2,000 anyway, so you don't really want to risk. I mean, and that can go out fast. If any of y'all have traded margin on Bitcoin, etc., you know that when you're wrong, it can go against you like lightning. It feels like it too. And you're like, damn, really? Although you cannot go negative in any of the futures accounts on crypto currently, you can on traditional markets. Yeah, that's right. You got to send money into the broker that you lost. You owe them. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? So here you go, 500. Almost like half of the people are depositing less than that. So look at this, guys. If you've got over 10 grand in a market, do realize that you are in the smallest percentile. I don't think people really realize that. Especially a lot of my crypto buddies that have made very well and have well over 10 grand, you know. You need to put into perspective what you really have and what you need to keep. Risk management, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go down a little bit more. I like this. Forget diamonds. Crypto's a girl's best friend. And they're just saying that because there was about a 50% increase from last year to this year in what females are trading. I thought that was pretty cool. And shout out to one of my good friends. He just got engaged. Everyone's talking about the big rock that he got his lady. And I thought it was pretty funny because he said something that she doesn't care about that. And that they're a scam anyway. And they are. If y'all didn't know that, diamonds are one of the biggest scams in the world. Is the SEC looking into that? Oh, no. So this is interesting. So where is the share coming away from that's going into cryptocurrencies, right? So Forex only lost a fraction. Only about 3%. Stocks lost about 50%. Or I'm sorry, about 35%. But indices and commodities did lose over 50%. So that's interesting. Bitcoin is considered a commodity by some. I just want to keep seeing this information as time goes by to see what cryptocurrencies are sucking away. Like, what sector are they taking the most pie from? So, pretty cool. Here you go. Look at this. The women investing in crypto with females accounting for 18% of Dash traders. Wowza. Ripple also on a lower note. There's stats in the bottom here if you want to get granular with all the specific percentages. But, yeah, pretty wild, isn't that? Actually, I don't think it is. Let me tell you why. Advertising is geared towards women and children. The majority of it, the vast majority of it. Which cryptocurrency has the best advertising, bar none? Dash. It's crazy, man. I've seen a Dash ad in airports on a flight. It played on the little movie thing when I was flying overseas last year. It played like right there in the back of my seat. I was like, I thought I was tripping. I was like, what the hell? I haven't drank that many beers yet. But it was on there. So there you go. Here's where it gets into all the nitty-gritty of the data. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all of this. This is something that if you want to look at it, please check out the description, or in the description below. I'm going to put a link to it. Very much worth reading. It's not that long. It's only about 19 pages, lots of graphics too, and wasted space. You know how it is in some of these reports. So there you go. Let's move on. Let's get to some charts. All right, here you go. So yesterday when I tried to put this stream out, I was talking about the cold water that the SEC put on, and I thought the timing of that was really impeccable. Of course it is. But anyway, hoorah, hoorah, ETF, and then they're like, no, wait a little bit longer. And then they double whammied it today with the, oh, Winklevoss twins, don't get it. That's funny, because that one wasn't even on the radar in the news. Everybody was focused on this one here from, what is it, Direction. Or it's almost like direction, kind of, except with an X. Pretty weird. I never noticed that before. But they've been in the game a long time. So, yeah, so everyone was really talking about this, and then they lumped it in with this one, like, right after. It's like a double little gut punch. Kind of funny. But, yeah, we drew this box on here a while ago. If y'all are watching my videos and keeping up and stuff, I drew this on. It was I called it pretty much the battle, the final battle that we need to get out to maybe start getting bullish again. There's lots of resistance there. I really wanted to see that engulfing candle blow through that whole range. In this range, if you don't want to go back and look at the videos, I do timestamp all my videos so you don't have to watch it all and like try to go through it all. I timestamp the crap out of them. Like sometimes it's by minutes and minutes, so please use those and take advantage of, you know, of that so you don't have to waste time. So anyway, we drew this box, and this is pretty much like a couple 618 fib retracements from different levels that I found very important because they all lined up too with the longer term moving average, the top of this trend line, and this channel that we're in. And as you can see, and I haven't moved this box since we drew it, price couldn't have got any closer to this, huh? Also interesting that the closing, or the opening price of the next daily also was, I mean, right on the money there. So clearly this is playing out. These resistances are serious. But I'm not totally freaked out at the moment on the price. I haven't looked a lot in Twitter today, in the spheres, in the crypto spheres, to see if everyone is freaking out yet. I know a lot of people are talking about this ETF, which, whatever, it will be good, but, you know, it's not the only thing that matters for crypto. It's like, oh, that's the only way we're going to get this rally back started. That's not true, guys. Come on. Y'all know better than that out there. So, yeah, because all the fundamentals of Bitcoin haven't changed. There's nothing that's... Plus, what can the governments and anybody else really do to make that change? Try banning it like 18 times like China or Russia or whenever. I mean, over the last 5 years, I think almost every country has said they're going to ban it. I don't know if the U.S. straight up came out and said that or not. But anyway, here we are. Now we're consolidating in this battle zone. I'm going to go ahead and call that the battle zone. Now, I'm sure most of y'all, this is when that article released. Everybody sold it. I already touched on that earlier. It's really silly to me. We're fighting the banks. We're fighting the man, bro. But we need the ETF to go. We need approval from the man so we can go. Like, what kind of backwards shit is that, right? This is they're just confusing everybody. It did get a little bearish on the hourly. On the 4 hour, not really so much. It is closing below the 50 on the RSI, which isn't a great sign. I usually don't like to see that in an upward trend. You can see that it didn't do that since it started running from about 6K. But just to give you some more food for thought, on this little rally from 58 to 68. It did dip below it while it consolidated the bottom of this channel. So what I'm kind of, if the bulls want to stay in power right now, what I would like to see is it to consolidate in this same area and maybe do that same thing along this channel. If we can't do that and we break out of this box here, and especially if we break below this orange line, all right, guys, watch out. Maybe do some adjusting in your portfolios. But I will say what's awesome is we do have all three of these moving averages above the longest term one here, the red one, which is the longest term. And if you want to see on the 4 hour, the last time that happened was right here, and you're probably like, oh shit, man, that's scary. That's like exactly where we are right now, like in time, is like these two sell-off candles. We just breached the yellow. And that's why I said, though, make sure, as long as it doesn't breach this, and definitely as long as the yellow doesn't go below the orange, we should be all right. But yeah, so that's the last time that happened. And prior to that, I believe it has been a while since the major bull run started. Yeah, that is correct. It hasn't happened since last summer, coincidentally. Didn't look at that before. But yeah, last July, late July as well. So, you know, let's just wait, get some more info, because you just have to wait day by day, you know. I think, to me, I like this risk to reward right here for a paper trade for me. So that's my opinion. Trade as you wish. And good luck out there. It's tough. All right, let's check it out on a 3-day. Yeah, doesn't look as good on a 3-day. It's trying, but it is kind of stalling out. But it's still in this box. Like I said, the daily, if as long as it stays in the battle zone, we're good. The daily did cross over 70. I do like that. Now you're saying, oh my gosh, it's overbought. Sell it. See, that was a great signal. That's not how RSI works, guys. A great signal for what? After it closed, what would you, maybe, let's say you got half of this candle, what, from 820, 8200 to 679? It's like 300 bucks. Big whoop, man. That's nothing in crypto. So this means, though, to me, that bulls are attempting to regain strength. We have not seen the RSI even close above on a daily level since December, since the last big run-up. So take note of that, please. Also, there's no divergence either here. There's no, on a daily, there's no divergence on DMI. There's no divergence here. DMI still looks good. We're actually still above the previous one. Just be patient, guys. This isn't the worst. That sell-off, like I said, I think that was just a cold water splash to scare little people. But we'll see how this pans out. All right? Let's go ahead and go to Ethereum. Let's see if it's still being lackluster. I think, oh, it is. Look at that. Jeez, could this be more boring? I mean, what is this? What kind of range is this, man? Like, we're just hanging out in this, like, I mean, how many points is this? $75? I mean, come on. And everything else is going up. Now, this is consolidating along that trend line. I would like to see this with Bitcoin now. That'd be really good for altcoins, too, by the way, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know. Ethereum and Litecoin both have crappy charts, to be quite frank. That's the daily. There's the 3-day. It's the same. It's looked the same, I feel like, since, for at least a week. Almost since I started doing these videos, I feel like it's almost looked the same to me. I don't see anything cool. It did get slapped off of the longer-term moving average to the Litecoin. It's in the same position, I'm sure. Yep, still kind of the same action. It looks kind of like Ethereum, just not as good or constructive. We are way down here. I think if you're a pairs trader, long Litecoin, short Bitcoin would probably be a decent pairs trade. If y'all don't know what pairs trading is, it's when you trade the relationship of the of the currencies or whatever that you're trading. It's not. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull one of these charts up. I'll kind of show you. Here we go. And you can do this on most platforms. Oh, crap, I did it the wrong way. So you go Bitcoin, US dollar pair. Let's just do Coinbase. And, oh, look at that. I have a Scoopy zone. I drew this box a long time ago. I just randomly pulled that up. How funny. Yeah, so I drew this back here and just did some 618 retracements and some projections and stuff like that. I was like, oh, man, this is probably a good buy zone. As you can see, look at this. I haven't looked at this chart in probably over 2 months. And look where the top of this box is, unrelated to the one I drew in the red one, right where we're getting this resistance. So we've got massive resistance at the 8,600 level on Bitcoin. All right, digressing. Back to pairs trading. Here we go. So you divide each one. So you want to know how many Litecoins does it take to make a Bitcoin? And that's what this chart is showing us right here. So pretty interesting. Right now it's about 94. It's been as low as 47. And so this is something that's a little bit newer to most crypto traders, I believe. And it is newer to me as well. I don't pairs trade. I do pairs trade in traditional markets. It's a lot easier to do, and there's more history and data to measure correlations that will start happening too in the crypto market. Bet your butt. But so it is showing that it's taking quite a few Litecoins to buy some Bitcoin. So what you want to have this happen is for the relationship to tighten, so you make the difference between those spreads. It's a really good way to minimize risk in the market. There are good studies in traditional markets. By pairs trading, you offset your directional risk by as much as 80%. Yeah, 80%. That is correct. And that's evident by if you open up a regular brokerage account and do a pairs trade, you get very large margin relief because you're not fully exposed. Your deltas are very concentrated. That might be a little technical for some of you guys, but we can talk about some pairs trading more. If y'all would like, just let me know and we'll go from there. All right, let's go to the Ripple. The Rippley. Oh, guys, I'm so glad I feel so much better than yesterday. I was feeling like death. Wow, look at this, guys. Ripple. You can probably hear it in my voice, too. It's probably a little stuffy still, but compared to yesterday. Look at this. Nice trend line. You know what? Let's make this guy a fat boy trend line. You see that? So we can see it, I guess, a little bit better. Horizontals are not on here. Come on, man. What am I, slacking? Probably. It happens. All right, there you go. Look at that. So we got a little battling going on, but we are right on this trend line, ladies and gents. This is a amazing setup for risk and reward. In my opinion, please trade on your own accord, but there you go. Pretty cool. Let's check it out and see if we can see any hidden divergences. Nope, nothing. Looks good. Looks good. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of basing. That looks like basing in accumulation to me. Let's check out XLM, which is Stellar Lumens. I like to look at it on Bittrex because it has the longest. They do call it Lumen on Bittrex. I don't know why everywhere else calls it Stellar. Bittrex just wants to be different, I guess. They're so cool. And here we go. Maybe. Uh-oh. Why is this taking so long? Did I break it? There it goes. I'm surprised I didn't drop any frames right there. All right, here you go. It's looking still... you are getting some pretty gnarly divergence here, and divergence that is below on the RSI on my 850 minute, which is it's very similar to a 12-hour, if you're wondering. Yeah, you're getting it here too. It's starting to build up, so do be careful with lumens. On 4-hour, same deal. I don't like this at all. The DMI is way below this previous run up, so the bulls have lost a little bit of the energy, but that's okay. If it stays above, we do have all these crossing over these trend lines over the longest term moving average. That is a good sign. The last time that happened was right here, and it had a little bit of legs left and popped another 10 cents, and then that was it. And you can see it kind of had the same deal. It did not have the same strength, though, on DMI as this move did. It was kind of flat and more, what's the word I'm looking for? More even. It was flowing smoother. That wasn't the word I'm looking for, but y'all get the idea. All right, so let's check it out on a weekly, because you can look at that on a weekly. On a weekly, you know, look at that. Bouncing right here. Bada boom, bada bing. And we're getting, DMI is finally getting above with conviction. Let's wait until it closes all the way. And we also do have RSI potentially going to close at the end of this weekend, I believe, is the 30th, right? Is Monday. So when that happens on Sunday night, that'll be good. We'll see what happens. Or it might be good. I don't know. Oh, we did not pull up Binance. Crypto. Let's go ahead and do that. Look at the top movers today. I totally skipped that. I usually start the TA with that, but I forgot. My apologies. I know y'all want to see this. Here you go. Boom. Some of the bigger movers. EOS is chilling still. Bitcoin Cash sold off a little bit today as well with everything else. Cardano, Tron, it's kind of the regular top 20. Ethereum Classic fell down a little bit. Oh, actually, ETC. Let's go look at ETC. It's also why I like to look at there, because it refreshes my memory sometimes. Oh, look at that. ETC. Oh, that's a weekly. Let's look at a daily. That's a little too much. So, ETC, I like ETC right here. I think it has a compelling build. It got slapped too right here, of course. Everything else did. Not a surprise. But it is, look at these moving averages, guys. I mean, could you stack them on each other any better naturally? I don't know. When was the last time that even happened? I guess right here. No, not right there, because the red's up there. So, man, yeah, so that hasn't happened in a while. There are big moves coming in the currency. I mentioned this in the video last night that I couldn't put up because it was too echoey with the technical issues that I had. But, yeah, guys, there is something large coming. And I don't know which way it is going to be. Nobody does. Okay? You just have to play probabilities. And I do think the probabilities... Oh, there's a little trend line right there you can kind of see. I do think the probabilities favor the upside slightly. Just slightly. And I'll have more conviction on that after this month ends. In the first week of August, we'll have a lot more data that's going to help us kind of see the direction and feel it a little bit more, if you will. So here you go. Oh, look, you can actually take this trend line way back, and you're like, dude, that's an ugly-ass trend line, how you're drawing that. Hey, well, man, draw your own damn trend lines. I want them to touch as much stuff. I don't need it to be just this one thing. Trend line, it's just art, man. You gotta... And like I told y'all in my other videos too, I actually draw them and then I move them up a little bit. So that probably makes you think it's even more crazy. But if everyone's watching the same movie, you have to do things a little bit differently to give you edge. Or to give you alpha. So, ETC looks good. Like it. Let's go to Tron. Actually, I've been kind of watching Tron closely. I don't have many biases to coins. I don't really fall in love with any of them. I do love Bitcoin, of course. We all do. But yeah, Tron is an interesting one to me. You have it coming down here, and this is on the Bitcoin pair. You have it coming down here, testing this former low back in mid-March, before the big run up. I like that area. I kind of like where it's at. Let's check it out on a dollar basis. Actually looks better on a dollar basis. You only have about, what is this, 10% to the downside roughly. If you go to about here, yeah, so about 10% to these local lows, and then 20 to like these ultimate wick lows. But I like to take closing prices, guys. You know, that's just kind of like an extension and like overreaction usually a lot of times. That's why, you know, they make hammers and those types of candle formations in those areas. It's spinning tops, dojis, you can call it. Those are kind of interchangeable a little bit. I guess dojis are flatter, spinning tops have wider bodies or longer bodies. They're not wide, they're all the same width, but you get what I'm saying. So Tron, I think, is something interesting to keep on your radar. Check it out. I do not have a position in Tron, but I do think it's an interesting chart. I'm going to bring this up. My buddy mentioned Zcash the other day, and I do agree with him. I do like this chart. It does look nice. It doesn't have all the moving averages coming up over here, though, like we are seeing on a lot of coins. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be bullish, but there is a lot of volume right here. If y'all can see this. See this volume right here? Right there? It's creeping up, right? And you're like, that's nothing. Look at this over here. Well, yeah, but you have to look at it relative. So relative to all of this, that's a lot. And you can see the gray is slowly picking up. So the average volume is going up as well. So pretty decent looking chart. I do not have a position in this either, but I might take one. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of just on the sidelines with this one. But I do believe that it has some merit for the upside. All right. One thing I did want to look at real quick was... where is it? Oh, excuse me. OMG. I feel like that one's been off the radar for a long time. I haven't heard anyone really talk about OMG. None of like my crypto friends or anything. Here you go. It's at about 680. I'll pull up the Bitcoin chart here in a second. So if you look at this on the 3-day chart, it had a massive run up. Everybody loved it. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't fallen out of bed. You know, I mean, look at this move here, down only about 50%. That's not bad considering, you know, Bitcoin and other things in that same time frame got slapped really hard. You know, like if you look in that same time frame, you're here to here. It was about 42%. But, I mean, there's lots of altcoins that are down, you know, way more than that. It's been holding up. It's showing semi-relative strength, in my opinion. So let's go to the 4-hour, get a little more granular. There you go. Got slapped today, of course, like everything else. It was a little late to get slapped, though, because that was announced, like, you know, back up in this candle here. And then it was like, oh, crap. But that's okay. Gives you maybe a better opportunity to buy. Look at this basing. Look at that basing, ladies and gents. That's all the way for this whole month so far. So, food for thought. I hadn't heard about OMG for a while. Just thought I'd bring it up. Let's look at it on Bitcoin pair real quick. There you go. Doesn't look as much as basing, but you are getting clear divergences here, especially on RSI. Lower, higher low, boom, lower, boom. You are getting it a little bit in the DMI. It's not as pronounced, though, which is rare. That doesn't happen very often. All right. Let's just look at it because I know y'all want to. Holy moly. What the hell is that? Y'all see that? Largest stock market crash, or stock market crash. Facebook was the largest one-day stock hit in history. 125 billion gone. Well, someone took it. Didn't just disappear, but went into someone's pocket. Also worthy to note, Mark Zuckerberg has been selling billions. I actually did the math on it earlier. If you want to see, I'll just pull it up real quick. So I pulled this data off of FinViz. It has all the sales. FinViz is an awesome website for traditional markets. They actually one of the first companies too to add crypto charts on their site as far as like a major traditional market website. So I did some math on there, and you can see these are. Look, I mean, look at these days here. Sometimes every day, but at least every other day. So every couple days, almost this whole year, he's been dumping about 20 to $50 million. Yeah, that's right. For a total of 4.4 billion dollars, guys. Since right here, since the beginning of this year, he has dumped $4.4 billion. Isn't that amazing? And at the same time that happens, so here you go. February starts dumping all through this. He dumped 4.4 billion in all of this, and the stock still went up. Let's just take it from the chop in here in the middle. Still went up 30%. And now we're just back to where we kind of started at the beginning of the year. It's like nothing even happened. I don't know. That was kind of weird that happened, because they beat earnings per share and some other things. But they cited, I'm trying to remember off memory, they cited something about currency headwinds and just market uncertainty in the future, which is interesting, because I don't think they've ever mentioned, especially currency headwinds. Not exactly sure what that means yet. But there is, with this tariff and trade wars and stuff like that, you know, maybe they're just a little bit nervous. I don't know. Part of me wants to get really long Facebook here, but it's tough to do, guys. It's real tough. All right, so just wanted to show you all that and give my little couple thoughts on the Facebook. I think that we've covered mostly everything that I wanted to. And with that said, I will sign off here. There's Bitcoin chart. Remember, battle zone. Battle zone. That's it. That's all we need to watch now. Let's hope that holds up. And until the next video, this is Z-Rex with Noiz Research. And I do wish you an awesome rest of your night or day, wherever you might be. Take care, guys. Peace.